So it has come to my attention that most therapists, trauma therapists, are still doing trauma timelines. And y'all, there is no reason to do a trauma timeline. I mean, there's no reason. There's exceptions to every rule, but as a rule of thumb, we should not be doing trauma timelines, in my humble opinion. And here's why. People with PTSD come in and they're triggered by reminders of what happened for them, causing nightmares, intrusive thoughts, flashbacks, dissociation, all these physical symptoms, all of this stuff, right? And our job is to walk them in to the hard stuff, making sure that they're resourced enough to be able to handle it, heal them, and then be able to get them out. So why, at the very beginning of treatment, are we going to roll out every single bad thing that's ever happened to them without any containment around it? Now, yes, we do have to take history, but we can get the Post-it note size version of the story and not let them go into all of the stuff. And we certainly don't need to go and say, okay, let's go, year by year by year of your life and list off every single trauma that's ever happened. We can just suffice it to say there was sexual abuse here, there was physical abuse here, there was bullying here. Like, let's move on, right? So there is a gentler way that is more effective, in my opinion, that not only protects them from the unnecessary emotional distress, but actually helps them to get faster and see results along the way. And I'll tell you what it is. It's simple. We follow the symptoms. So no, it doesn't mean that we let our clients come in and they're talking about their symptoms all day. I call this the COW, the crisis of the week. It is not trauma informed for clients to come in and they're talking about the argument that they had with their husband when they came in for sexual abuse. Our job instead is to say, okay, this argument with your husband, right? How did it make you feel? What are the emotions, the body sensation? What did it make you feel about yourself, right? What's that negative underlying belief that's there? And then to be able to say, if we're ready to start moving towards trauma, if we're not ready to work on the trauma yet, what we would do from there is say, okay, when that emotion comes up, right now I can feel it, 0 to 10, how strong is it for you right now? And I'll say a 7, I'm really worked up about it. Okay, let's see if we can do this breathing exercise or this over here, this grounding technique, or let's see if we can put husband in the container for a little bit and see what that feels like, or develop a safe place for you or something along those lines. And then we go back and see if it worked, right? So 0 to 10, how do they feel now, right? Did they get a positive shift? If yay, go out and practice that in the world, right? That's the beginning of treatment when we're building resources. But let's say we're ready in heal and we're trying to figure out what to work on. Client comes in, have an argument with husband. We've gone and we've done the stuff. We know what they're feeling. We know what's going on in their body, and we know the negative belief that's underneath it. And then what we would do is we would follow that back to where this got started for them, because it certainly didn't get started with this one argument. There's a pattern that's there. That's what happens when you have a trauma history. It started back when. And so if we follow with EMDR, we would be doing a float back technique, but we follow the trail back to the touchstone memory, the earliest memory where this started. And we go back and we heal that. And then we come up in time and relate it back to what's occurring up for us currently. And then we move into the future. And now the clients are actually getting a resolution. They're feeling different. They're responding different to the husband. You're able to say, man, if your husband had said that to you 6 months ago, you would have had this response. Do you remember back then? Look at what you're doing now, right? You're calming yourself down first. You're setting healthy boundaries. That's because you're rooted in a positive belief for yourself. So I would argue doing a timeline doesn't do anything but muddy the waters and make things harder. We're going to get there if we just follow the symptoms. As soon as we get done with this scenario that's coming up with the husband, we'll reshuffle the deck. What's coming up for them now that's related to why they came in for therapy? And then we'll follow the symptoms back, clear this out again. And what's happening is that you are not just moving from bad thing to bad thing to bad thing in their lives. Instead, what we're doing is we're actually clearing the space and providing some leeway for the clients to actually see progress and feel better and to really know that we've cleared something all the way out. Now, my opinion, I am always open to any kind of thoughts and comments about that. If you're watching this online, feel free to put a comment in there. If you're seeing this in an email, reply back to me. And if you're interested in learning more about this, particularly with dissociation in these complex clients, we do have a course that's coming up. I would love to get you more information about that. Just reply back to the email or put it in the comments, and we'll get you all the information that you need. And then you can learn how to do this, feel really great because your clients are going to be feeling better and they're not going to be getting worse and feeling bad because, we're just dredging up all of their traumas. Awesome. Thanks, guys.